Imagine that we're sitting in front of each other at a coffee shop, and I ask you, hand me your coffee sleeve. You, weirdly enough, you're like, okay, sure, here's the coffee sleeve. Now, I take a coffee stirrer and we put it right inside of the coffee sleeve. And this is what happens. Watch. I then start taking it, and almost as if by magic, it starts to melt straight through, as you see. Just like so. You can then hand this out, you can then take the little coffee sleeve, put it back on their coffee, and you are good to go. If you want a chance to win the gimmick that we're gonna make here today, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed, you like the video, and you leave a comment. Next week, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A, so comment down below any questions you may have for me, and I'm going to answer them next week. I've always loved performing like Misled or Passing Through or Sharpie Through Bill because you get that really visual penetration. I wanted to see if I could take those concepts and apply them to coffee sleeve and coffee stirrers. So I'm gonna share with you a couple methods that I didn't stick with. I'm still gonna share them with you. The end one is gonna be the one that I technically like the most. So make sure you stick around for that. We're gonna start off with the very first one, which all it is you take your stick here and then you can place it inside of the stick like this, and now you can clearly see, well actually let me hold it here so you can see. You can see it that it'll slowly start to go straight through that coffee sleeve until it comes straight out. So this first method, I'm just using the very classic extra piece right there, as you can see. And all that does is it's going behind here like that. But because this is common and we've seen this many times before, this is not the option I went with. I then thought, what if we have the coffee sleeve, but the coffee sleeve has an extra layer? As you can see right here, all I did is I took from another one, I took it off. That way we would be able to take a little stick and then it's going to let you kind of hold it in place so that it doesn't fall. Really, it's just going with that flap there. But from here, then you would be able to kind of create that illusion, and then later on, you could maybe cop this piece off. Now the tape is a little too strong. I should have taken it down, but because this isn't the version that I want to share with you, just kind of wanted to show you how I got to this last bit. So the one that we are going to make is you're going to need to take your coffee sleeve, okay, and very carefully, all you're going to do is you're going to start to unstick this here. Once you've done that carefully, now it's okay if a little bit stays like this, then what you're gonna do is you're going to split only the opening here. And I'm gonna tag the video where I already taught you how to do this, you'll see that. But once you've done that, you're going to have a little coffee sleeve that looks just like this. The opening is split almost as you would a playing card. And then I'm gonna put in the description, I found some magnets on Temu or Temu. I'm gonna put the description there. But those magnets, all I did is I put them here and there, making sure that they do line up. And then with a little bit of rubber cement, I closed everything up. And so then you have what looks like a regular coffee sleeve, but in reality, it is just attached by magnets like this. So now let's learn how we can use this gimmick to create that illusion. Now that we have our gimmick ready, this is what it would look like. You can take the coffee stirrer and clearly place it inside. Drop it. You can even have a spectator hold on to the end to make sure it never goes in. Now we just start sawing the little coffee stirrer just like this, and you can see it penetrates all the way through. And you can open it up, you can put it back in the cup, and we're ready to go. So in order to perform this, what you want to do is have this little piece slightly folded inwardly. And the reason for that is so that, as you can see right there, the little stick is going to be able to now go straight out of it. So when we place this inside and we grab it through the top here, you'll see that because of that bend, as we start making this sawing motion, it's really just going through the back there like this. We continue through, and then we're pretty much done. Now, this is just one of the things you could do if you have a spectator here and they're holding on to the stir in front of you. They could actually hold it on both sides. You then can come over and start rubbing it like that, and then you'll see that it'll go straight inside of the coffee sleeve. And then all we're doing here is just pushing it straight inside, as you can see there. The same thing is happening on the way out. You're just taking it off. You could, of course, put it in like this as well if you want. Now let's add a little subtlety to this routine. So we're going to take the coffee sleeve, place it inside. In fact, I'm going to place it all the way down here. Okay, so you can see that it's almost hanging there by the coffee sleeve, and I'm just going to pull it straight through, just like that. Now, technically, in this version, they can't check everything out, but if we have a regular coffee sleeve, like this one here, then we would be able to, say, place it right inside. Oh, in fact, let's put it down there, and then you'll see that you don't even have to pull it straight out like this. You could just start cutting up that, and now both of these can technically be examined. So if we do it with the gimmicked version, you already know that what we're doing is we are pulling it out through the back here, as you see. Okay, so as we move it down, now all I did is I pushed there like that, and now it's going to stay because I added a little tiny bit of double-sided stick tape to that stick. Now you can either push it down like this, or you could do this same sawing action where it seems like you're slowly melting the little piece through the coffee sleeve. And when it comes to the one that does not have the gimmick, so this is actually closed there, all you have to do is just pretend like you're trying to place it on the inside. If you pretend and you become quiet, it's almost like you're concentrating so that you get it inside. Now is really in the back, but all you do is pretend to move it down, again, push, and it'll stick there. Now you can't even swing it like this, just to give it kind of that illusion that it's really hanging in there, and then you can pull it out and reveal it in whichever way. Now I have my thumb directly over that double-sided stick tape. Because this is wood, the double-sided stick tape technically comes off really easily. So as I hand this out, I could peel that off and hand that off as well. Ooh, it seems like it got stuck. But now everything is technically examinable in this version. But what if you want to do the gimmicked version and still hand it out to be examined? Well, let's take a look at that right now. With just a little bit of choreography, we're gonna be able to have the spectator check and feel like they checked everything before and after. What we're gonna do is place our gimmick on the coffee cup. It's right here. Now we're going to ask our spectators, can you hand me the coffee sleeve? As they do that, of course, what you want to be doing at that time is opening up the little coffee stir. Now, we're not going to give the spectators this to check out. We're just asking them for the sleeve. Because they don't know that anything is going to happen, they're not going to check it out. And this honestly feels 100% regular. Now, they're going to hand you this, you're going to move on and perform your trick. And remember, they have already checked this out, but they never checked this. So when you finish, you can hand them this for them to make sure that this is normal. They're gonna be checking that out. You secretly have another one, let's say in your hoodie pocket, in your lap, if you're sitting on the table, in your back pocket, anywhere you want. I like to have it in my hoodie pocket here. And then as they're checking that out, I drop the gimmick and I pull the real one out. Then I don't even have them check this out. You can just put it on the table. You can ask them, oh, can you just put it back on the on the cup? And now everything is 100% normal. Another thing you can do is, usually, at least in Panera, they have the little coffee sleeves stacked up for people to grab. You can just place your gimmick on top, and now you grab that and you start performing with that because you loaded the gimmick on their stash. Everyone's gonna think that this is normal, and there's no way that there could be magnets or gimmicks. Now, in case you want to do this without magnets, it's super simple. You might be able to, isn't he cool? You might be able to just use, you might be able to use double-sided stick tape. And then that way it doesn't stick like this. It's just doing by double-sided stick tape. You're gonna go through it. Or you could also, you put a little bit of rubber cement. You have that rubber cement right there. If on the rubber cement, you let it dry for 1 minute, you're gonna be able to just have a couple of these gimmicks already made, as long as the dry rubber cement doesn't touch the dry rubber cement. If we had here and here, as long as they don't touch, they're gonna be good for weeks. So you can prep a bunch of them, and now you can have also a coffee sleeve through coffee sleeve that you can perform, and you can give this to your spectators to keep. If you want a chance to win all the gimmicks we made here today, including the pseudo one, plus the actual gimmick, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with a question so you can be a part of next week's video for my Q&A. I want to thank you so much for your time, and hopefully I will see you next week on Monday.